Oh my god. Right. Yes. Gimana lah?
Hey John, I'm Corporal and I admire it.
Corporal? More like horrible.
Hey John, I'm Corporal and I admire it.
Corporal? More like horrible.
Hey John, I love 02.
02? More like zero IQ.
Hi John, I like scientists.
Scientists? More like appliances.
John, I like the marksman.
Marksman? More like fartsman.
Hey John, I like the delinquent.
Delinquent? More like delete and quit.
Hey John, I really like the clown skin.
Clown? More like down!
John, I like using the track star.
Track star? More like crap star.
John, I like to use the fanboy skin.
Fanboy? More like bland boy.
Hey John.
Okay.
02.
02? More like zero IQ.
John, I love 02.
02? More like zero IQ.
Hi John, I like scientists.
Scientists? More like appliances.
John, I like the marksman.
Marksman? More like fartsman.
Hey John, I like the delinquent.
Delinquent? More like delete and quit.
Hey John, I really like the clown skin.
Clown? More like down!
John, I like using the track star.
Track star? More like crap star.
John, I like to use the fan.
И тревожная черная дверь.
Bro. What? What the fuck? It's the same shit. Cái gì vậy? What?
I'm Corporal, and I admire it.
Corporal, more like horrible.
Let me ask you a question. Why are you watching YouTube right now? There are plenty of video streaming sites out there, a lot of them with some pretty major advantages over YouTube. Vimeo lets you watch in much higher quality and offers a much more curated selection. Dailymotion has much less strict rules when it comes to copyright content. Odyssey is decentralized and was made to try to recapture the 2000s era internet atmosphere that everyone is so nostalgic for nowadays. With all these platforms out there, why do we stick with YouTube? With its incredibly strict community guidelines, creator hostile copyright policy, and its aggressive reactions to ad blockers. Some might say that YouTube was just lucky. They came out with the first good video hosting site, and they continue to be popular just because they always were popular. It's where all the creators you follow put their content. But this neglects the real reason why YouTube has been and continues to be as successful as it is. The algorithm.
Oh my fucking god, bro.
As controversial and disliked as the YouTube algorithm seemingly is, it's also what separates YouTube from every other video platform. It's what keeps you, the viewer, coming back day after day for your fill of niche slop. It's what allows unknown creators that have no audience at all to release videos that can still get potentially hundreds of thousands or even millions of views. It's a system that rewards creativity and originality, and it's really good at knowing what you want to watch. The YouTube algorithm in its current state would not be possible without Google. Very similarly, what set Google apart from every other search engine in the early 2000s was their PageRank algorithm. Previous search engines would just show you the closest results to whatever you searched, but Google developed a system that could accurately measure the relevance and importance of each web page, allowing users to get vastly improved search results from Google compared to every other search engine. When Google bought YouTube in 2006, there wasn't an algorithm at all. Videos would blow up almost exclusively because of word of mouth, and all the videos on the front page were clips handpicked by YouTube staff. This led to 30% of videos getting 99% of the views, with 2/3 of videos on the platform getting essentially no views. To get an audience around this time, you just had to get really lucky. In this era, there was just one static YouTube homepage that showed the exact same set of videos in the same order for every user on the site. But with that being said, there was still some sort of algorithm. The video sidebar, where YouTube would try to show you content related to the clip you were watching. Usually, you would just find videos that had a similar title or the same tags as the current video. And it's here in its humble beginnings where we'll find our first anomaly in the YouTube algorithm. On April 20th, 2008, a user named Mordegard would upload a video called Marina Mordegard Glesgorv. The video itself would show a red image of a man shaking with some Windows Movie Maker effects and not much else. At the end, some bell sounds can be heard, and the clip ends with a brief second image of the man. For whatever reason, this video blew up. After being live for 2 weeks, it had garnered more than 60,000 views, a pretty large amount for 2008. Like everything else on YouTube at the time, this video's success was likely due to word of mouth. It had an accompanying creepypasta that told it the potential harm this video could do to your sanity. By the way, if you want to know more about the creepypasta and the actual man depicted in this video, you can go check out this collaboration I did with Something Sinister, where I talk about that stuff more in depth. Because of this video's strangeness and its lack of any sort of relevant keywords in its tags or title, YouTube had no idea how to categorize it. So when it went to look for related clips to put in the sidebar, it mostly just put videos with the exact same title. Since the clip had garnered a lot of views, many people re-upload the video on their own channels, or they just put up completely different videos with the same title, hoping to get some attention from the sidebar. In any event, seeing only a bunch of videos with this strangely specific title in the sidebar must have only enhanced whatever creepiness surrounded this video, and it was quite the rabbit hole in 2008. And honestly, it still is today as well. If you search Marina Mordegard Glesgorv right now on YouTube, you'll still see almost exclusively videos with that exact same title, whether they're re-uploads of the original video, copycat videos made in a similar style, or just other unrelated creepy clips. As time went on, YouTube would continue to improve the algorithm. In 2012, they switched from ranking videos purely based on views and clicks, and began taking into account watch time as well, leading to higher quality recommendations and discouraging clickbait. In 2016, the algorithm would start using neural networks, which would infinitely increase the amount of data points it took into account, and also made it infinitely harder to truly understand. It's grown into a behemoth that almost feels like this magical force that either works in your favor or doesn't, and it's what drives the entire modern experience of YouTube. So, what happens when the algorithm malfunctions? Now, you might be wondering what I mean by that. You see, the algorithm doesn't actually watch videos. It only knows the data points that surround a video, like like the title, description, tags, and of course it can gather a lot of data by analyzing the viewers themselves that watch a video. The algorithm will take all this data into account and try to group a video with other clips it thinks are similar. But what happens when there's something off about the data it's working with? Like the video title is only made up of emojis. How does it get categorized? In the same way that an AI like ChatGPT can hallucinate and produce unpredictable results, the YouTube algorithm can also produce anomalies, such as entire subsections of this site that shouldn't even exist. Marina Mordegaard Glesgorf was a pretty simple and innocent example from a much more primitive version of YouTube, but for the remainder of this video, we're going to be looking at the much more complicated modern anomalies in the YouTube
Oh my
algorithm.
god, man.
Whenever you type anything into the YouTube search bar, you'll be shown several autocomplete suggestions, usually based not just on the popularity of any given search term, but also based on how the algorithm has categorized you as a viewer. If you enter an emoji or even just any non-letter character into the search bar, the suggestions always get pretty weird. But there is one exception to this. If you type in a period, you'll see nothing. No suggestions at all. Why is this? If you actually do search for just a period and nothing else, the results aren't that weird. In fact, all the results seem to contain the word dog, which makes me think that YouTube is replacing the period character with that word in the search results. This wasn't always the case though. Up until a couple years ago, YouTube would instead replace the period character with the phrase full stop punctuation, which is a very specific group of keywords. And just like Marina Mordegaard Glesgorf, searching for a period a couple years ago on YouTube would only result in videos with the title full stop punctuation. Unfortunately, basically all of these videos have been taken down and haven't been archived anywhere, but according to some people on Reddit, despite the mostly innocent looking thumbnails, many of these clips supposedly depicted violent scenes that probably broke YouTube's terms of service. I can't verify whether or not that's true, and I'll admit it does sound a lot like a schoolyard rumor, but after this glitch was discovered, people began purposefully uploading scary videos with the title full stop punctuation to take advantage of this algorithmic anomaly, creating an unnatural YouTube niche which is still going strong to this day, but should have never existed in the first place. Let's take a look at some of these videos.
Oh, hello. Oh, hello.
This video
Wow.
not only has a title full stop punctuation, but that's also the name
Shit
of the
behind
channel
me.
and the only words in the description. There's not a whole lot to untangle about the video itself, which is pretty short and doesn't really have much going on. The mumbled audio at the beginning is just a slowed down snippet of the song Strange Fruit by Nina Simone, which you probably also recognize from Blood on the Leaves by Kanye West, which sampled it. The forest scene at the beginning is too generic to be able to recognize, and I also couldn't find a source for the Jeff the Killer-esque face at the end, although I won't lie, it kinda looks a little like Your Movie Sucks. This channel has 2 other uploads, which are just the same video with the same title but different thumbnails. One of them, disturbingly enough, showing 2 kids in a bathtub along with a snake. I feel like this must break some YouTube guidelines, along with just generally being immoral in this context, so I'm blocking it out here. While this video isn't exactly very interesting, there are some genuinely horrifying videos with this glitchy title, like this one. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Have you ever entered your email address somewhere you probably shouldn't have, and then started getting a lot of spam? Well, chances are it was probably collected by a data broker. Data brokers collect personal information en masse and then sell it to third parties. And if you consider the sort of entities that might be interested in buying large amounts of personal data, you can only imagine just what nefarious things they might want to do with it. It might start with spam, but it can escalate to phishing attacks where bad actors try to deceive you to gain much more sensitive data, or even identity theft. As bad as all this is though, I'm not worried about it anymore, because I've entrusted Delete Me to deal with these data brokers for me. What's this? Get sponsoring this video. This video is insane. I think it might be one of the creepiest clips I've seen in a long time. The big eyes, the unsettlingly large mouth, teeth, and tongue, the music with the synthetic vocals, it all works to such a good effect. And speaking of the music, it's a pretty historic recording of the song Daisy Bell from 1961 that features the first ever computer-generated vocals. Pretty cool. The video itself though is a little harder to track down. I found a few other uploads in different contexts and also a Reddit thread from 2020 searching for its origin. There wasn't a definitive answer in this thread, but they did find the earliest known upload of the clip, which was originally also posted on Reddit to the Void Meme subreddit in July 2020. The user that made this post has been suspended, so we unfortunately can't contact them, but they did post a comment in the thread explaining that the video was supposedly made by heavily editing a Snapchat recording with that old filter that would make your mouth and eyes big. They didn't say though if they made the video themselves or not, but we could probably assume that they did. But getting back to full stop punctuation, the channel that posted this creepy video is called First Name Last Name. And just like the last channel, they also have several other uploads, all with the same title. And while their first video we watched was pretty interesting, the rest of these videos are all just low quality shitposts. And you know what? Most full stop punctuation videos on YouTube are exactly like this. Low effort garbage made to sneakily grab some views from a glitch in the YouTube algorithm. While some people on Reddit have a theory that the bug here was YouTube allowing illegal content, I personally think the anomaly is the unnatural promotion of low quality videos, probably bypassing some of the usual factors like watch time, click-through rate, or ranking against other videos. While we can't know for certain what the bug was here, YouTube would kind of prove that there was indeed something wrong by not only removing autocomplete when only a period is typed into the search bar, but if you search full stop punctuation today, you'll only get results for the word dot. To find these videos, I had to purposefully misspell the word punctuation and let YouTube autocorrect in the search results page, which I guess bypassed this strange fix they implemented. While YouTube may have fixed this glitch, every other anomaly we're going to talk about in this video remains untouched. After the whole full stop punctuation controversy blew up, people began looking for other broken keywords in the YouTube algorithm, and a lot were found over the years. The first of which being this Arab phrase, which roughly translates to a woman claiming to be Mary, days of my life. Searching this on YouTube, again, brings up only videos with titles that match this phrase almost identically. For whatever reason, the shitpost factor on these videos seems to be much higher than the full stop punctuation videos. These clips all feel like the sort of thing you might find on any random shitpost video subreddit. But that being said, there are still some creepy videos in this niche, like this one. This video was uploaded in 2021 and has only 150 views, which I guess would qualify it for my unwatched horror series. We can see two different skinny and dirty figures moving in a very stiff and unusual way, seemingly not being affected by gravity. The source for this one was pretty easy to track down. This is a special effects test for the 2012 horror movie Mama. There's another related Arabic search term that has its own weird niche associated with it. This one translates to, a woman claiming to be the Virgin Mary is married to Christ. The content here is more of the same teenage brain rot and not really worth watching. I'm not too sure what the deal is with these Arabic search terms and why they're both relating to women claiming to be Mother Mary. I also don't know why searching these doesn't bring up any actual Arab content. Some of these videos do contain Arabic, but I'm fairly certain these are still clips made by Westerners trying to produce surreal memes. This really is just another broken corner of the algorithm, and while this one may have been fairly tame, the next one we're going to look at is a little darker. To get to the following section of YouTube, you need to type in this nonsensical string of characters into the search bar. Doing so will bring up, again, only videos that match this phrase almost identically. The trick with this niche in particular is that these videos are, for the most part, all clickbait. The thumbnails all look very creepy and eye-catching, but upon clicking the video, you'll end up seeing something completely unrelated. Usually some brain rot shitpost videos made for children. Now don't get me wrong, there are some pretty creepy videos as well, like whatever this is supposed to be. But the problem here is not so much the videos themselves, it's the thumbnails. While most of them are just creepy images, some take it a step further and use screenshots from actual gore videos. And I don't just mean screenshots taken before the violence happens. This video, for example, has a thumbnail that shows a real, extremely mutilated body taken right from bestgore.com. This sort of thing just shouldn't be on YouTube. And as a YouTuber, it's a little frustrating that I can get demonetized for even just having a certain word in a thumbnail, while these videos get away with using actual gore photos and not even getting an age restriction. There are a few other weird niches created by YouTube algorithm glitches, but all of these mostly follow the format set up by the three we've already looked at, except for one that's completely different, which will also be our final topic for this video. On May 18th, 2019, a user on 4chan's paranormal board will make the following post.
Okay, so I typed TryGF, random keys on the keyboard, on the YouTube search because I was bored. Then I pressed back and I got these very weird suggestions from YouTube. Where the hell did they come from?
This is accompanied by a screen recording of the autocomplete suggestions they got after typing in TryGF, which appears to be similar to full stop punctuation. The OP goes on to say that they tried some other words, but nothing gave the same strange results as TryGF, except for an alternate spelling of the same nonsense word, TryFG, which supposedly resulted in something much weirder. Searching this on YouTube apparently results in 6 different uploads of the same 6-second video. While the version linked on the 4chan post has been taken down, one of the other uploads is still live. This video is a clip from the movie Elf with a text reading, "You did it. Congratulations." The OP ends the post with a different and even stranger video they found bearing the same title. This clip is just audio and visual static and nothing else for 30 seconds. These videos on their own are strange, but not really any more unusual than the other stuff we've looked at today. And people in the paranormal thread would uncover more strange things about these accounts, like the fact that they were all seemingly posting random social media gifs with nonsense titles. The next day, the 4chan threads OP would write essentially the exact same post, but this time to the conspiracy subreddit, and with a lot more information this time. In this post, they claim to have come across a lot of messed up stuff by searching TryGF on YouTube, but people quickly noticed that they themselves could not replicate these results. Going back to the 4chan thread, there are some weird videos that people came across here, like this video that appears to show a body in a bathtub, and which has some coordinates in its description. But wait, this video is unlisted. How exactly was this discovered? If we look in the thread, this video was just kind of posted here randomly without any kind of explanation as to how it was found. In fact, all of the creepy stuff in this thread just kind of appeared there without any explanation as to how it was connected to anything else. To understand what's going on here, we need to understand what the goal of an ARG is. An alternate reality game is essentially trying to replicate a story or a mystery in reality, so that they appear no different than a real internet.
Okay.
Mystery. Ash Vlogs tried to make their ARG appear like a real vlog channel that had something wrong with it. Alan Tutorial tried to make their channel seem like an actual tutorial channel that had something wrong with it. TryGF attempted to make a fake anomaly in the YouTube algorithm. But what's interesting here is that this ARG may have been what originally sparked interest in algorithm anomalies in the first place. I can't find an earlier example of someone pointing out the strange things you see when you search for an emoji or a period on YouTube. And I wouldn't be surprised if all the rumors of gore videos and the other illegal content you can find by searching these terms all stemmed from this ARG. By the way, if you want to learn more about this ARG, I recommend watching Nightfare's recent video about the topic. I think these anomalies in the YouTube algorithm always seem a little scarier than they actually are. While it can be unsettling to see a bunch of weird videos with nonsense titles, the reality is, all these glitches really do is group and promote content in an unnatural way. And that content is generally just low effort slop, posted with the sole intention of cashing in on the malfunction. I've yet to see a single original piece of content with any kind of value in any of these niches. It's all just the same few creepy videos copy and pasted endlessly. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a good night. Thanks for watching, and thanks again to Delete for sponsoring this video. To get your data removed from the internet, check out Delete via the link in the description and get 20% off. The story of musician Joyce Chu is not too different than that of most other pop singer-songwriters in the last 20 years. She began uploading videos to YouTube while she was in school and was eventually noticed by a record producer known as Namewee, who then promptly signed her to his label Red People. Namewee began working with Chu to build up her career and turn her into the next big Mandarin language pop star. They began by releasing the song Malaysia Cabor, which would be an instant hit in Joyce's native country, Malaysia. But it wasn't until mid-2015 when Joyce Chu would truly become an internationally recognized pop star among the greater Chinese diaspora, which happened when she released her song, I Miss You, which currently has 65 million views on YouTube. On the surface, this song and video seems pretty standard fare for Chinese pop music. The song consists of Chu singing a catchy melody over the sounds of her ukulele, which the video depicts her playing in many different locations around South and East Asia. But while this video may seem sunny, positive, and lighthearted, there's a disturbing secret hiding in one of these scenes. When looking at the comments on this video, you'll notice that despite the general popularity of this song, most commenters seem to be talking about something completely unrelated to the music. Everybody seems to be pointing out something that happens at 1 minute and 42 seconds into this video. And if we look at the YouTube timeline highlighter, you'll notice that the most replayed section of the video is that one particular timestamp. Let's see what's going on. Pay close attention to the following clip. Into the following clip. Did you catch it? Let me play it again. In the distant background of this scene, we can see what appears to be a person tumbling off of a building. It's only on screen for a second, but it's also irrefutably clear. This is the shape of a person falling. The fact that this is in a professionally produced pop music video is very strange. It would seem nobody noticed what looks like an act of self-annihilation happening on screen. But while the people involved in making the video might not have noticed, fans definitely did. And after this music video came out, the only discussion about it online seemed to be revolved around this disturbing scene. But as viewers began researching to try to find out what might have been caught on camera here, things only became stranger.
What's up, Cole? It's your best buddy, Farrell. As you know, I'm a huge advocate for data privacy, and I was just Googling your name, and isn't that your address? No way. And look, if you scroll down a little bit, that's your phone number.
Where are you finding all this out?
You can pretty much Google anybody or anything and find all sorts of private information like this out. These sites are run by data brokers who collect your personal information, package it up, and sell it to anyone who wants it. And you know who it is that's usually looking for this sort of thing? scammers, and spammers. These guys are printing money and it's completely legal in America. Brokers are legally required to remove your info if you ask them to, but they make it super hard to do that. Or you can just do what I do. Use Aura, the sponsor of this video, or bank account, browse and shop safely to find which. That this scene was filmed in front of the Red Theater in Taipei, the capital city of Taiwan, but sponsoring this video. It didn't take long for online sleuths to figure out that this scene was filmed in front of the Red Theater in Taipei, the capital city of Taiwan. But when they started to look for recorded acts of self-destruction,
It's a game. What the? What? Set up. So this is a game.
that might have happened near this building around the time of the music video was made, researchers came up empty-handed, with even the Taipei police saying themselves there were no recorded cases that could have happened in that spot. And not only that, you see, when looking at the street view of this area, you'll notice something that really throws a wrench in this story. In the video, after the figure tumbles off the building, it falls in front of this billboard. But while the perspective of the sign in the video might make you think it's attached to the building, the street view shows you that it's actually pretty far in front of it. This means the figure must have fallen off of something else off screen. Some people have theorized that this isn't a person at all, and it's merely some other object falling from the sky, and the perspective from the camera merely makes it look like a person. But I don't think this is the case. If you analyze the footage closely, you'll not only see that the figure is
good luck. No. Trời má ơi, nó lắc kìa. Okay, so you can use all the click. Okay, sure. No, this is best. This is fun. This is fun. Sit. Oh. What the Vấn đề gì đây? À, khó xem. Để sẽ rất bạn. What? What? Okay. Oh my god. Bro. Trời má ơi, nó lắc quá. like.
Very obviously human-shaped, but it also very clearly tumbles off of the building, with its foot hooking a bit on the edge and causing the figure to flip over in midair. But it would be impossible for a person to fall off of the building and pass in front of the hair sign, which can only lead to one conclusion. Namely, Chu's record producer has commented on this controversy. He said that he did notice a person falling in an early cut of the video, and he actually went to the Red Theater himself to check the scene in person. He wanted to cut the scene out entirely, thinking it could be bad luck to include something like this in a music video, but ultimately chose to keep it in anyways, for some reason. The only logical conclusion here is that Namewee was doing a little trolling, and that this body falling was CGI that was intentionally added to the video to drum up publicity from the controversy. It's a very strange and arguably disrespectful thing to do, but it's the only way this story makes any sense. This body very obviously couldn't have fallen the way it did in the video in real life. It must have been added in post-production. If you want to make this even darker, start to think about the subject matter of the song itself. While the rest of the video is upbeat and happy, the lyrics don't really match it. The song is about desperately missing somebody you love. In some ways, adding a person falling from a building as a dark contrast to the rest of the sunny video actually somewhat matches the same disconnect that exists between the song's cheerful tone with its sad lyrics. I don't think we'll ever get a concrete explanation to what happened here. I don't think Namewee or Joyce Chu will ever come out and admit that they purposely added something like this to a music video, and we can ultimately only speculate why somebody spent their time realistically animating a man falling off a building in this scene. I do think it was just to drum up a buzz in the press, but if you guys have an alternate theory, please let me know. I'd be curious to hear it. Ni hao. Welcome to...
You are not Chinese, thank you.
Horrors on the Chinese internet. I've been really wanting to make this video for a long time, but I kept putting it off because the sheer scale of it was a little intimidating. Not only is China just a huge topic in general, possibly the biggest topic if we're just talking about a single country, but it also has some of the most unique relationships with the internet in general. Well, in the past, we've talked about Russia and the Arab world. Those societies use the same internet that we use here in the West. They're using the same platforms we do. And if they do have their own platforms like VK in Russia, for example, they still work more or less like their Western equivalents. China, though, has its own internet. That's not an exaggeration. China's made a very conscious effort to isolate its population from the outside internet. Most of the platforms we use here in the West are outright banned in the country, And even when we do use a Chinese social media platform here in the West, China will still maintain a separate Chinese version of the same platform. Like how Douyin is completely isolated from TikTok despite being almost the exact same app. The explanations behind these sorts of relationships China has with the internet and media in general will be very long and political, and I don't really want to talk about politics at all in this video. What I want to focus on today are the
Okay. Hello, dash. Dash. Okay. Hello, man. Okay, dash.
Kết hợp từ vỏ cà phê lên men độc đáo và trà xanh.
Nada volverá a ser como antes. Ya no hay vuelta.
What the hell? There's a rock bottom. Good, yeah. No, it's not good at all, man. What's next, man? Oh my god. Fall. This fucking thing. Oh my god. Nó bay ra đầy bà luôn rồi, đậu xanh. Is this your first? No. I have more streams, man. have to like buy links. If you search it, maybe it's not gonna work. This is a game. This is a game. I don't know if you can see it. YouTube might delete it, you know.
Solo que contiene el poder de crear mundos y dotarlos.
Oh, I know you. It exists. It exists. Okay. You can search it.
Scary and disturbing parts of the internet regular Chinese people have experienced, and how they relate to the dark and unsettling corners of our internet. While the first topic we just discussed was more focused around the Chinese diaspora and not so much people using the internet inside the country of China, the next couple of topics are going to focus on stuff that's happened specifically on Chinese platforms. So without further ado, let's dive a little deeper into the horrors lurking on the Chinese internet.
Come on, advertisement.
Like we just talked about, China more or less has its own internet complete with its own social media platforms, some of which have a Western equivalent and some of which don't. For example, Douyin and TikTok are basically the same app. Xiaohongshu, or as you may know it, Red Note, is pretty much the closest thing you can get to Instagram in China. Weibo is a platform that works a lot like Twitter, but for YouTube, there's not really a single Chinese equivalent. At least not one that has the same sort of massive presence YouTube has in the rest of the world. The platform Youku used to work much like YouTube, but in the 2010s, they began to shift away from user-uploaded content, and now they only offer professionally produced TV shows and movies. Youku nowadays is most similar to Hulu in the States. The closest thing you can really get to YouTube nowadays in China is Bilibili. Although, like I said, it doesn't have the same sort of popularity that YouTube has. If we compare Bilibili to Douyin, for example, China's most popular video sharing platform, it has almost 3 times less users, whereas in the rest of the world, YouTube is almost twice as popular as TikTok. Bilibili in China is seen more as a platform for younger people who are into anime, video games, technology. Imagine if you were to cut out everything except for the more geeky niches out of YouTube. You might end up with something like Bilibili. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is that while the Chinese government may restrict what platforms are available in their own country, you can actually access many
Bro, got it? No, I don't.
Chinese platforms here in the West, although the experiences can be limited in some ways. When you load up Bilibili for the first time, you are indeed greeted with what seems to be a nerdier Chinese version of YouTube. The platform tends to ask you pretty often to log in, which you can actually do in the West if you're willing to give them your phone number, but then you need to solve this CAPTCHA which is completely in Mandarin. It took me a while to figure out, but you basically just need to put the characters in the right order. I was then given the ability to make an account, if I gave them photos of my government issued ID, which I'm definitely not gonna do, so we're just gonna have to put up with these annoying interruptions that don't go away with an ad blocker asking us to log in every few minutes. Of course, being a YouTuber, the first thing I thought to check was to see if anyone else had uploaded my videos to Bilibili. And indeed, a few of them have been translated to Chinese and uploaded to the platform. It's pretty surreal to see bootleg Mandarin versions of my videos getting tens of thousands of views on a platform I had no idea about. It's not just me either. Many of my peers have also been mirrored on Bilibili, like Chilling Scares and Nexpo. They even have translated versions of XQC's reactions to Nexpo videos, which is so absurd it's bordering on parody. Now you're probably wondering what sort of genuinely Chinese internet horror people on Bilibili are watching. Well, it's actually harder to find than you might think. You see, horror has been labeled as quote-unquote bad pop culture by the Chinese government.
Now, okay. Now, this Today's solo stream all day. Maybe every day here. Maybe every day.
government, and there's been an active effort for the last 6 years to censor and remove horror content from Chinese social media platforms. This has very obviously affected the sort of horror stuff you see on a platform like Bilibili, which appears to be a lot more lighthearted and silly than the sort of spooky stuff you can find on the Western internet. If you haven't heard of the Uncanny Brothers, they're a series of short-form videos made by Crows Bros on the Western internet, revolving around two uncanny-looking individuals and the slasher movie hijinks they get up to. It's a pretty popular little web series here in the West, and apparently it is in China as well. People have made tutorials on how to do makeup like the Uncanny Brothers, and there's countless parodies and cosplay videos on Bilibili. These makeup tutorials in particular I find pretty interesting. They all seem to have little short horror clips at the end. I almost wonder if this is a way for people to sneak horror content onto a Chinese social media platform without technically breaking the rules. The Uncanny Brothers is fairly silly and lighthearted, and most internet horror I can find on Bilibili seems to be like that. And a lot of it is also very over the top in a particularly Chinese way. I'm not sure if it's a cultural thing or if it's because of the government's censorship efforts, but in any event, the scariest online horror fiction you're gonna find in Bilibili are translations of Western content.
No.
With that being said though,
Adios.
there are still dark and disturbing corners on Chinese social media. They just happen to revolve around things that are real. There's a group of Chinese internet mystery sleuths that have put together this huge and well-organized iceberg, cataloging the unsettling things you can find on the Chinese internet, which has been invaluable for researching this video. It's also where I first came across our next topic. Before talking about it, we're gonna watch the whole video. In this video, we can see what appears to be a group of people slowly creeping along the side of a highway in the middle of the night. The group is in a single file line, and only takes a step forward every second or so. Everybody is dressed eerily normal, as if they were plucked out of their regular lives and placed into this bizarre situation. On the iceberg, this incident is referred to as the highway corpse video, which may imply that these people are dead, and indeed, the description written by the original uploader says that this is a group of people on an expressway in Yangzhou pretending to be ghosts in the early morning. This clip was originally put up on the platform Weibo, which we previously talked about. It's the Chinese version of Twitter and one of the most popular social media platforms in the country. While scrolling through the uploader's profile to learn more information, I realized that this is just a page dedicated to sharing interesting videos about cars and driving made by other users, which makes me think that this isn't the original upload of this video. Searching for the description on Google yields no information at all, and this was also the point in the making of this video where I realized that Google is basically going to be useless for research today. We're going to have to go over to the Chinese version of Google, Baidu. Searching the description on Baidu points us much more in the right direction. I found a different Weibo account that posted the same clip a few days earlier, as well as a second video of the same phenomenon. Again, we see a group of people slowly sauntering down the side of a highway in the dark. This clip is both longer than the first one and brighter, seemingly taken along a much more well-lit stretch of road. It only highlights how strange this situation is. A completely normal-looking group of people appearing to be in some sort of trance, all marching in unison to this bizarre soundtrack. At one point, the woman in yellow at the back of the group briefly looks at the person filming, but then immediately returns to whatever it is the group is doing. As I watched these two clips more, I realized something that made this whole situation even weirder. This is not the same group of people. When you look at just who's marching in which order, you'll notice that the two clips seem to have completely different people in them, yet both groups are doing this slow march to this unsettling mantra.
Sorry guys, Editor Farrell here. I know I just said that these are two separate groups of people, but I'm not actually so sure anymore. Of course, at the very last minute, I noticed that there is somebody who could be in both videos. This person who has a shirt sticking out from under their sweater. They do appear to be in both videos, and I think it's possible some people standing around them might be in both videos as well, so I can't really say with 100% confidence anymore that these are in fact two separate groups of people depicted in both of these videos. I think this could be the same group of people at different points in the night, and they've had people change. Order, and maybe some people have joined and left. I don't know, I feel like that's a more plausible theory, so yeah, just wanted to put that out there.
I decided to do an image back search on both videos. Again, Google was useless here, but Baidu did give me quite a bit of results. Basically, all of these are just re-uploads of the same two videos on different corners of the Chinese internet, except for this page. This is an article made only a couple months after the two highway videos were taken, and it discusses factory workers that had to walk along a highway for 100 kilometers to get back to their hometown, supposedly due to strict COVID restrictions that prevented them from using any form of transportation. There's no video here, but this picture does look eerily similar to the two highway videos. The reverse image search also led me to this group of pictures of Douyin, which are documenting the same group of factory workers walking to their home villages, through muddy terrain, wet fields, under fences, and also along the side of a highway. Picture 21 of this slideshow looks very similar to the Highway Corpse videos. I think this factory worker theory is a plausible one, except for one thing: the sound in these videos. The people in these clips are marching in time to some weird cadence call. It doesn't make sense that a group of workers who are just trying to get home would be marching in time to an eerie chant like this. But there is a second explanation to this whole thing that does take that little detail into account. As intriguing as it may be to think that there's some supernatural or nefarious explanation to the Highway Corpse video, one commenter on the Weibo re-upload seems to have a more realistic theory. They say that this is likely a group of people practicing Theravada Buddhism, which is the oldest branch of the religion. The people that adhere to these beliefs sometimes practice something called walking meditation, which involves a very slow and deliberate pace of marching while chanting either the Buddha's name or some other mantra. It's fairly possible these two groups of people were doing some weird group walking meditation. Maybe they didn't start out at night or on the highway, but according to this commenter, sometimes this ritual can go on for several days and cover huge distances. So it's believable that maybe this group started out doing walking meditation in the city during the day, but it went much longer than expected and they ended up in this bizarre situation. Another clue that makes me believe this theory is the sound they're marching to. It seems to be a few words repeated over and over again, which definitely seems to be a mantra of some kind. Maybe it's an unorthodox version of walking meditation, but this video definitely seems to depict some version of it, and I can't think of a better way to explain these eerie videos. Let me know if you have your own theory though. I always find you guys in the comments are great at clearing up any doubts I may have with my own theories. These videos seem creepy on the surface, and even though they're still technically unresolved, the most likely explanation clears up a lot of the eeriness surrounding them. This next video though, I don't think it's going to be quite that simple. I'm going to warn you, the following topic is definitely one of the more disturbing things I've covered on this channel. If you have a weak stomach or are sensitive to real life atrocities, you may want to hit the right key on your keyboard or tap the right side of your screen until you see my face pop up again. That's how you'll know this section is done. Alright, let's just get into it. There's something oddly alluring about abandoned buildings. Places that once served a purpose but now stand still, lifeless, and slowly rotting away. Exploring such places is always a thrilling experience. You get the feeling that you're doing something wrong. You're trespassing onto a space that was never intended for you. But at the same time, there's nobody to stop you from being in a place that's been cast away by everybody that once owned or occupied it. This also creates a feeling of lawlessness, like you're exiting polite and orderly society when stepping foot onto one of these properties. And who knows who or what you might come across. One such explorer of abandoned places is known on Douyin as Dubao Tanshin, or in English, Beanbag Adventure. His profile is dedicated to recording his experiences exploring abandoned factories and apartment buildings in China and elsewhere in Eastern Asia. At one point, his profile was deleted following a set of videos he uploaded that caused a major stir on the Chinese internet. He did eventually get his account reinstated, but without the series of videos that resulted in the deletion. What exactly were in these videos that caused such a big controversy? Luckily, they've all been archived, and we're about to go through them. The first video starts with Dubao explaining to us that he's currently in an underground laboratory, and that he's going to show us something in this vat that only people with a strong stomach should look at. And he's not joking about that. What Dubao Tanshin is going to show us is probably the worst thing you could imagine. Obviously, I'm not going to show you this on YouTube, but inside this vat is what our cameraman calls movie props floating in a pool of dank standing water. Props or not, whatever we're looking at resembles the decayed bodies of many children. Again, Dubao goes on about how these are just movie props, but then he also says that this video will be censored, we all understand why. And pay attention to the details, I'm not gonna say much, which may imply he's only saying these are props so his video doesn't get taken down. After showing us this horrifying scene, he immediately begins gagging. This could also be just because the place smelled horrible, even if the bodies weren't real, but we can't say for sure. This video is incredibly disturbing, but in February 2022 when it was uploaded, it didn't really create that much of a stir on the Chinese internet. But that would change at the end of 2022, when Dubao Tanshin would return to the building for a second exploration. While the first video followed the format of other Douyin videos with obnoxious music and editing, this one's a lot more toned down and barely has any editing at all, which makes it feel like a more legitimate exploration. It starts with Dubao showing us the path that leads to the vat, which is in a claustrophobic concrete tunnel complete with a layer of stagnant standing water in the ground. He comes across what appears to be children's clothes on the floor in several places. And of course, he then shows us the vat. You might be wondering why it was this video in particular that caused a stir online and not really the last one. You see, when the last video was uploaded, many people thought it was fake and that the bodies really were just props of some kind. But in Dubao's second video, we can see the same bodies, but in a much further state of decay. Sure, somebody could have went to a lot of effort to make fake bodies in various states of decay for a Douyin account with a small audience, but according to Occam's Razor, these bodies are likely real. In his next video, Dubao starts by showing us the exterior of the building that's hiding the underground lab. It appears to be long abandoned and slowly being reclaimed by nature.
余年的老医院，楼的外墙已经爬满爬山虎。这个医院一共有3栋楼，看医院的建筑风格，应该是60、70年代的产物。来了吧，随着我镜头进入内部瞧上一眼。
We eventually walk in the front door, and the above ground floors of this building appear to be just as decrepit as the basement. He shows us what's on the floor, which appears to be mostly garbage, but also the occasional set of bones. That's about all we see in this video. We don't actually revisit the vat underground. In the final video, we return to the underground area for a disturbing new revelation to cap off this horrible saga. Dubao does more of the same and shows us things he's finding on the ground, which occasionally includes what seems to be human bones. But then he finds something much more disturbing. He finds a stick of incense that looks like it was recently burned, meaning that somebody else has been in this lab very recently. Incense in Chinese culture can mean many things. Like in many other societies, it's often used in religious ceremonies in China. And indeed, the Hong Kong-based YouTuber Milk also seems to think that this particular usage of incense signified some sort of religious worship. This is basically all the information about this particular location we would get from Dubao Taixin. Shortly after these videos became somewhat of a controversy in the Chinese internet, his Douyin account would mysteriously vanish, only for it to come back a few months later, this time without the videos from the underground lab. He would never again talk about the situation. This is definitely one of the craziest situations to come out of the internet in general, not just in China. As a result, this quickly spread to the West, and the investigation into this strange lab and the horrors it contained went global. Redditors had all sorts of theories. Maybe this was the remnant bodies from some Chinese organ harvesting operation, or maybe this was a dumping ground for a Chinese serial killer. On the Chinese internet, though, people had a slightly different theory. On Tieba, the closest thing to Reddit in China, people are talking about plasticizer factories, which is something you might not be familiar with here in the West, but don't worry, we're gonna go over it in a second. Obviously, Chinese people are gonna have a better sense of context for a mystery that's happening in their own backyard, but there is one Redditor that's probably done more research into this situation than anybody else has, and their thoughts are fairly in line with the conclusions Chinese internet sleuths were coming up with as well. Here's their theory. In the 1990s, a German scientist known as Günther von Hagens was looking for a way to better preserve human remains. Through his research, he developed a technique called plastination. This involves removing the water and fat in a corpse and replacing them with different kinds of plastics, which yields a body that doesn't decay or smell. Plastination would go on to revolutionize anatomical models for medical education, giving schools the ability to keep a single cadaver to study for basically an unlimited period of time. Hagens had bigger plans though. He would eventually go on to organize a very famous series of public exhibitions around the world that you've likely heard of before, Body Worlds. These exhibits feature real human remains posed in striking ways for people to ogle at. It's definitely a morbidly fascinating idea, but while Hagens and his team try to urge the public that all the bodies on display were people who had given their consent to have their corpses used in a for-profit museum, this wasn't always the case. And Body Worlds has endured many controversies over the years about their possibly unethically sourced cadavers, usually from places with looser human rights records, like Russia, Kyrgyzstan, or China. The underground lab for Dubao's videos is allegedly somewhere in the Jilin province of China. Just a few kilometers south of here in the city of Dalian in the 1990s, Günther von Hagens would have a chance meeting with Bo Zhilai, the mayor of Dalian. Günther had been working as a professor in the Dalian University, and he had also opened up his second plastination factory in the city as well. You see, Body Worlds is a huge company. By 2006, Hagens had made around $200 million from the business. This was a huge opportunity for people who had access to corpses, like Bo Zhilai. It's widely believed that Bo Zhilai was allegedly supplying Günther von Hagens with the bodies of executed Falun Gong practitioners, a religious organization that was being heavily persecuted in China at the time. This is just an allegation without any substantiated proof, but what is proven is that Hagens' plastination factory in Dalian had been processing bodies they were receiving from unknown sources. A lot of pressure would eventually mount on Hagens for this practice, to the degree where he stopped working with human corpses altogether in China, instead focusing his efforts in the country on animal cadavers. But Günther's legacy would endure in the region, with several of his former employees going on to start their own businesses revolving around plastination, most of which are still operating in the area today. Many of these businesses operate with the same shady practices Hagens' company had in the past, and in China, they're known as corpse farms. Both this Redditor and the users on Tieba seem to think that this underground lab is hiding the leftover remains of some corpse farm. The liquid the bodies are floating in doesn't actually appear to be water, but rather a solution called formalin, a chemical used in the plastination process. Several of
ล็อกคาสคาราพูงถึงไงงงหลาล้ำ
Nada volverá a ser como antes. Ya no hay vuelta atrás. Verás, para ellos eres un bicho raro. Como yo. Todo forma parte del plan. Voy a hacerte sonreír. Desde el inicio de los tiempos existía el cubo. No sabemos de dónde procede, solo que contiene el poder de crear mundos y dotarlos de vida.
Legend? Yeah, maybe. But since how long then just leave like that. If you're a legend for saying you kill on the dipped. I don't understand anymore. Oh my god.
We are paging Mr. Baxter, Mr. Jordan, and Mr. Simon to proceed to boarding gate 38 immediately.
Hardcore, rock you down to the floor. Pussy's higher on the border. Jumper, under order. Hardcore, rock you down to the floor. Pussy's higher on the border. Jumper, under order. Every minute, every hour, got the power. Take a shower, blast stop, screaming on, wicked and tough. Hardcore, rock you down to the floor. Pussy's higher on the border. Jumper, under order. Every minute, every hour, got the power. Take a shower, blast stop, screaming on, wicked and tough. Right now, say Lord have mercy.
I've got the money, I've got the place. You've got the figure, you've got the face. Let's get together and jumping all over the world.
Sing it!
I've got the music, I've got the lights. You've got the figure, full of delight. Let's get together and jumping all over the world.
Let me hear ya!
I've got possession, I've got the name. You've got the power to drive me insane. Let's get together, we're jumping all over the world.
sigo la línea, la línea, la línea, la línea. Yo sigo la línea, la línea, la línea. La línea de la vida. Yo sigo la línea, la línea, la línea. Yo sigo la línea, la línea, la línea, la línea, la línea. La línea de la vida. Yo sigo la línea de la vida. Respiro todo el aire que me llena y me ilumina. Yo sigo la línea de la vida. Respiro todo el aire que me llena y me ilumina. Yo sigo la línea de la vida. Respiro todo el aire que me llena y me ilumina. Yo sigo la línea de la vida. Respiro todo el aire que me llena y me ilumina. Yo sigo la línea, la línea, la línea. Yo sigo la línea, la línea, la línea. La línea, la línea. La línea de la vida. Yo sigo la línea, la línea, la línea. La línea, la línea. La línea, la línea. La línea de la vida. La línea, la línea, la línea, la línea. La línea, la línea, la línea. La línea de la vida. Yo sigo la línea, la línea, la línea, la línea, la línea. Yo sigo la línea, la línea, la línea. La línea de la vida. La línea de la vida. Yo sigo la línea de la vida. Respiro todo el aire que me llena y me ilumina. Yo sigo la línea de la vida. Respiro todo el aire que me llena y me ilumina. Yo sigo la línea de la vida. Respiro todo el aire que me llena y me ilumina. Yo sigo la línea de la vida. Respiro todo el aire que me llena y me ilumina. Yo sigo la línea de la vida. Respiro todo el aire que me llena y me ilumina. Yo sigo la línea de la vida. Respiro todo el aire que me llena y me ilumina. Yo sigo la línea de la vida. Respiro todo el aire que me llena y me ilumina. Yo sigo la línea de la vida. Respiro todo el aire que me llena y me ilumina. Yo sigo la línea. Yo sigo la línea. Yo sigo la línea de la vida. Yo sigo la línea de la vida. Yo sigo la línea. Yo sigo la línea. Yo sigo la línea de la vida.
Ui, chú tiệm chậm hóa này. Ngon. Không, mấy cái chú tiệm chậm hóa cho mấy chú. Hello Jack mà.
Think I can fly. Think I can fly when I'm with you. My arms are wide, catching fire as the wind blows. I know that I'm rich enough for pride. I see $1 billion in your eyes. Even if we're strangers till we die.
or stress wardrobes and such. What the f- Oh hell. Bro. Nice overviews. Don't crash to be sorted out. God, there's like 5 million tasks on the site. This. Bro.
Hey, can you say something funny? Make some anime girl sounds, dude. Make some. Do it.
Anime girl sounds? What do you want me to say?
Say darling, yeah.
Darling?
Yeah.
Like, darling? Something like
cringe,
that?
Dude. This is my friend. We collabed last time, and now we're just gonna do normal gameplay thing. Her voice pack is considered as a legendary or something like that, or epic. I'm not too sure. So you're gonna have to waste a lot of money for these crates. I just spent like 30,000 just to get that voice pack. 30,000 cash. What do you want to say to our viewers?
Hi. I'm Bethy. Nice to meet you, and
Okay, cool.
Oh my god.
I got your voice back on right now. Oh, I forgot. You did do like Doom voice lines, right?
I did, yeah. You were the one.
Yeah, I was the one who told you to do that, but the thing is that I didn't put that in my last video. But yeah, you said like the only thing they fear is you, right?
The only thing they fear is you!
That was a voice line you said?
Is you and Rip and Tear are 2 lines.
Rip and tear!
When did it say rip and tear?
It's a deploy line. I did use your voice back, like when. No!
Good on, dude. I think you lagged out a bit, and you kind of just teleport away from some of my shots.
Yeah, I lagged a little bit, but that's okay.
Oh, I forgot. You like typical cringe too, right? And you like, and your favorite character is the Asian, right? Right?
Oh!
You had lagged out there for like a bit.
I did! I was literally right behind you! What? Yeah, I killed John Roblox. That's such a flex. I'm gonna go tell all my friends on Discord.
Oh wait, I'm trying to find you. Where are you? Just got pwned, dude. It's dizzy again. Dizzy time. Dizzy time.
Oh my gosh.
You're on.
Oh, I just got the rip and tear line for Murder's Child.
I didn't even hear my line because you talked over it, and it's not like the exact same. Because like you're sort of the same person, so yeah, I couldn't really understand too well.
I'm sorry. That was stressful.
What was?
I think you're near me, and that No! So how does it feel to know that a lot of people play your audio in game? How does that make you feel?
Which one? The 02 one?
The 02 one.
Start off ironically, so I still.
Think I can fly. Think I can fly when I'm with you. My arms are wide, catching fire as the wind blows. I know that I'm rich enough for pride. I see $1 billion in your eyes, even if we're strangers till we die.
What the fuck?
Even if we're strangers till tonight. We have the world in our sight, and no, together we'll be alright. And you will see forever we will go.
What the fuck? Oh.
We are forever learning, one step at a time. As long as the world is turning, I'll be by your side. We'll keep the fire burning, I'll never see you hurt. You know I can't explain it in a way of words. We both know that you'll understand, and you'll see if you take my hand, and I'll go out of my own way for you. I'll go out of my own way.
Evil ass looking spectacles. It's not even fucking evil either, it just looks like it's drunk. Holy shit. No, thanks.
Wait a second, let me catch my breath. Remind me how it feels to hear your voice. Your lips are moving, I can hear a thing. Living life as if we had a choice. Anywhere, anytime, I would do anything for you. Anything for you. Yesterday got away, melodies stuck inside your head. Strong in every breath. Sing me, sleep now. Sing
to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island. Wanna be my fun life. I don't ever want to leave. I'm in a tropic club. Something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I'm living under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my fun life. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.
Hello, Dash. Disco. Yes, yes. What the fuck? Okay. Sorry, time to go. What the fuck? Malah. Diva? The fuck? What the hell? What the fuck? No. What the bro, what is this? Has to be 2018. There's no way. 2018. Okay, man. So it's not 2019. Okay, man. What the?
I was looking into darkness, something to hold on. Found you when you were so broken, and I felt something was wrong. I think I'm in love, 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 I'm in love with you. I'm in love with you. Ooh, I'm in love with you.
No woman involved, please. Oh my god.
Ứng dụng YouTube Music có các danh sách phát nhạc không quảng cáo chuẩn gu của bạn.
No thanks. Look, got some movement. Good. How about you?
Budweiser chúc mừng 10 người đại thắng chuyến đi Mỹ. Xem FIFA Club.
Adiós. ตายละ
Chill out, what you yelling for? Lay back, it's all been done before. And if you could only let it be, you would see I like you the way you are. When we're driving in the car and you're talking to me one-on-one, but you become somebody else, grab everyone else. You're watching your back like you can't relax. You're trying to be cool, you look like a fool to me. Tell me what ever gonna make things so complicated. I see the way you're acting like you're somebody else, gets me frustrated. Life's like this, you fall and you crawl and you break and you take what you get and you turn it into honesty. Promise me I'm never gonna find you faking. No, no, no. Trying to be tell me what ever gonna make things so complicated. Like somebody else gets me frustrated. Life's like this, you fall and you crawl and you break and you take what you get and you turn it into honesty. Promise me I'm never gonna find you faking. No, no, no. You come over unannounced, dressed up like you're something else. Where you are in it's that you see, you're making me laugh out when we strike your pose. Take off all your preppy clothes. You know you're not fooling anyone when you become somebody else from everyone else. You're watching your back like you can't relax. You're trying to be cool, you look like a fool to me. Tell me what is gonna make things so complicated. I see the way you're acting like you're somebody else, gets me frustrated. Life's like this, you fall and you crawl and you break and you take what you get and you turn it into honesty. Promise me I'm never gonna find you faking. We're somebody else, grab everyone else. You're watching your back like you can't relax. You're trying to be cool, you look like a fool to me.
nó bộ bóc lột nè. Ý là nó còn chút một xíu á, nó kêu khô hoàn toàn.
Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove. You got a fast car. I got money. Won't have to drive too far. Just cross the border and into the city. You and I both drive to kind of see what it means to be living. You got a fast car. Tonight, so remember we were driving your car, sweet so fast, but like I was drunk. See the lights stay out before, see the all felt nights wrap around my shoulder. And I feel it right along. I can feel it I just live with a bottle of some weed. Said it's better too old for working. It's about too young to look like it. Mama went off and left him. She wanted more from life than he could give. I said somebody's got to take care of him. So I quit school and that's what I did. You got a fast car. We go cruising, entertain ourselves. You still ain't got a job. Not working the market as a checkout girl. I know things will get better. You'll find work and I'll get promoted. We'll move out of the shelter. Buy a bigger house and live in the suburbs. You got a fast car. Say fast enough so you can fly away. You gotta make a decision. Leave tonight or live and die this way. So remember we were driving your car, sweet so fast, felt like I was drunk. See the lights stay out before, see the all felt nights wrap around my shoulder. And I had a feeling that I belonged. I had a feeling that I could be someone. Had a feeling that I could be someone. Be someone.
YouTube Premium là trải nghiệm xem YouTube không quảng cáo và cho phép phát trong nền, dùng thử miễn phí 1 tháng.
Been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, Achilles and his gold, Hercules and his gifts, and Spider-Man's control, and Batman with his fist. And clearly I don't see myself upon that list. But she said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero. some fairy tale bliss, just something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. I want something just like this. I've been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, the testaments they told, the moon and its eclipse, and Superman unrolls a suit before he lived. But I'm not the kind of person that it fits. She said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss, just something I can turn to, somebody I can miss. I want something just like this. I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. Where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss, something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just like this.
travel land and sea, but as long as you are with me, there's no place I'd rather be. I would away forever, exalted in the sea, as long as I am with you, my heart continues to beat. With every step we take, Kyoto to the bay, strolling so casually. We're different and the same, gave you another name, switch up the batteries. If you gave me a chance, I would take it. It's a shot in the dark, but I'll make it. Know with a little hope, you can't shame me. When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be. 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 We set out on a mission to find our inner peace, make it everlasting, so nothing's incomplete. It's easy being with you, sacred simplicity. As long as we're together, there's no place I'd rather be. With every step we take, Kyoto to the bay, strolling so casually. We're different and the same, gave you another name, switch up the batteries.
Cover me.
If you gave me a chance, I would take it. It's a shot in the dark, but I'll make it. Know with a little hope, you can't shame me. When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be. No
Blow them up.
When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be. Yeah.
Cover me.
There's no place I'd rather be.
Blow them up. Grenade! 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 Grenade!
Counter-terrorists win.
Move out! Opening fire! Opening fire! Grenade! Grenade! Cover me! Blow them up. Grenade! Move out!
blow them up. Fire in the hole! Grenade! Cover me.
Counter-terrorists win.
Get in position.
Veo en vuestros ojos el mismo miedo que encogería mi propio corazón. Pudiera llegar el día en que el valor de los hombres decayera, en que olvidáramos a nuestros compañeros y se rompieran los lazos de nuestra comunidad. Pero hoy no es ese día. En que una hora de lobos y escudos rotos rubricaran la consumación de la edad de los hombres. Pero hoy no es ese día. En este día lucharemos por todo aquello que vuestro corazón ama de esta buena tierra. ¡Os llamo a luchar!
The There's no blood, there's no alibi. Cause I've drawn regret from the truth of 1,000 lies. So let mercy come and wash away what I've done. I'll face myself to cross out what I reach.
Llame a la policía, por favor.
Blow them up.
Cover me.
We have been detected.
Go out, dumbass! It's clear! Uno! Oh my god! Don't die! Don't die! CT, please, look CT.
We have been detected.
Hold them off.
Engage the enemy. Need support! Grenade. Engage the enemy. Fire in the hole.
Vì phần này trốn vợ, hiểu lý do nâng liền, gắn kết đậm chất Việt, Mỹ Việt, đậm chất Việt.
Grenade.
En tus regazos poso el peso muerto de mis manos para arañar tu piel y así quebrar tu llanto. Si ese quejido roto logró darle más trabajo, puede que encuentre en tu sonido el fin de un buen hallazgo. Podría hacerte caminar a un paso aligerado, podría hacerte mutilar si saltas desbocado, podría hacer callar tu voz si hablas demasiado. Hablo de ti, vinilo,
nice.
tú que estás girando.
Come on, alt. No, not me. This is alt. Also, good luck with the woman.
Hablo
silencio, se abría paso una dulce melodía. Era el silbido de un viejo vagabundo. Y yo le pregunté, ¿qué silba, viejo vagabundo? Y él me contestó, silbo música, silbo mi vida. Hold them on. Noche de invierno, donde reinaba el silencio, se abría paso una dulce melodía. Era el silbido de un viejo vagabundo. Y yo le pregunté, ¿qué silba, viejo vagabundo? Y él me contestó, silbo música, silbo mi vida.
fire! Opening fire!
¡Soy al final!
Fire in the hole!
Mami, dime si esta noche tú vas a salir temprano del trabajo. Dime pa' no esperarte abajo. Ven, carro por la abajo, esperándote que estoy loco por darte pa' abajo. No le parece la calle y tira de taco, que yo receto lo
Esta noche
tú no te me escapas. Yo voy devorador. Yo no veo un muñequito, pero te va a salir.
Superman sin capa. Esta noche no me escapa.
Llegó el devorador. Yo no veo un muñequito, pero te va a salir.
Superman sin capa. Solo malo.
Porque yo me muevo encima de ti, porque tu cosita te remanda.
Fire in the hole!
Sin un trapo encima, dando que yo te me come el moño, 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 esta noche, tú no te me escapas. Llegó el devorador. Yo no veo un muñequito, pero te va a salir.
Superman sin capa.
Esta noche, tú no te me escapas. Llegó el devorador. Yo no veo un muñequito, pero te va a salir. Superman sin capa. Cuando venía manejando, tú me estabas sobando el pantalón. De una manera increíble, que tú pensabas que yo era un vegetal de los 80. Tú vas a tener que hacer que la que no sabe nada. Tú vas a hacerte la vuelta para que no te pueda soltar. Tú me dijiste que te mande pa' tu
Casa, tome más.
te guarda pa' que te acuerdes de mí cuando te sientes a orinar. Tú vas a tener que hacer que la que no sabe nada. Te guarda pa' que te acuerdes de mí cuando te sientes a orinar. Esta noche tú no te me escapas. Llegó el devorador. Yo no veo un muñequito, pero te va a salir. Superman sin capa. Sin capa. Esta noche tú no te me escapas. Llegó el devorador. Yo no veo un muñequito, pero te va a salir. Superman sin capa. Sin capa. Soy el final. El Superman. Hecho produciendo esta vuelta de nuevo. En ese estudio. Gran Velero Records. Los caballeros del sonido. Payaso. J. Joel. El cable. Sosobrita Music. Una fuente que se estaba recordado. Isai López. Soy el final.
Fire in the hole! Cover me.
figure down.
Fire in the hole.
Sẽ nhận chúng ngay các giải thưởng để tốt hơn mỗi ngày cùng number one tiếp năng lượng bên đam mê.
Ça doit faire au moins 1000 fois que j'ai compté mes doigts. Où t'es, papa, où t'es? Où t'es, papa, où t'es? Où t'es, papa, où t'es? Où t'es, où t'es, où papa, où t'es? Où t'es, 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 où t'es, où papa, où t'es? Qu'on y croit ou pas, y aura bien un jour où on n'y croira plus. Un jour ou l'autre, on sera tous papa, et d'un jour à l'autre, on aura disparu. Serons-nous détestables? Serons-nous admirables? Des géniteurs ou des génies? Dites-nous qui donne naissance aux irresponsables, hein? Dites-nous qui? Tiens, tout le monde sait comment on fait des bébés, mais personne sait comment on fait des papas. Monsieur, je sais tout, on aurait hérité, c'est ça. Faut le sucer de son pouce ou quoi? Dites-nous où c'est caché, ça doit faire au moins 1000 fois qu'on a bouffé nos doigts. Où t'es, papa, où t'es? Où t'es, papa, où t'es? Où t'es, papa, où t'es? Où t'es, où t'es, où papa, où t'es? Où t'es, papa, où t'es? Où t'es, il sait ce qui ne va pas. Ah sacré papa, dis-moi où es-tu caché? Ça doit faire au moins 1000 fois que j'ai compté mes doigts. Où est ton papa? Dis-moi où est ton papa? Sans même devoir lui parler, il sait ce qui ne va pas. Ah sacré papa, dis-moi où es-tu caché? Ça doit faire au moins 1000 fois que j'ai compté mes doigts. Où t'es papa, où t'es? Où t'es papa, où t'es? Où t'es papa, où t'es? Où t'es, où t'es, papa, où t'es? Où t'es papa, où t'es? Où t'es papa, où t'es? Où t'es papa, où t'es? Où t'es, où t'es, papa, où t'es?
We were both young when I first saw you. I close my eyes and the flashback starts and send a message on the balcony somewhere. See the lights, see the party, the bar again. See you make your way through the crowd and say hello. Little did I know. That you